Hey
Hi,
everyone.
hi everybody. What's going on? Happy holidays to you. I am Vickie, and that is Miss Kristin, and
Hello.
we are the Sleepless Astrologers, and we are welcoming our Libran friends to their 2018 forecast, and we hope that we've got some good stuff to tell you. Just wanted to ask you to please subscribe if you like what you see and hear, because we've got good stuff coming up in the future. And smash that bell and give us a thumbs up if you like it. And take a check in our description box for all our social media um, handles, which I could spew to you, but that would be boring. We also do charts as well, so we can hook you up with that, at your budget, at your time, at your leisure, all that good stuff. Tell you a little bit about Scopum, which is an iOS Android app where you can meet your match astrologically. And we congratulate Scopum on their first engagement. Real engagement, like with a ring, with a ring. Is it a big ring? Have you seen the ring?
I haven't seen the ring. This is just secondhand info, but yeah, a couple met on Scopum about a year ago, and apparently they've been dating and getting married.
Ta-da! So hooray, it works. And why it didn't work out.com, which was originally it's a website that'll tell you why your relationship actually did not work out. But there's a blog on there that talks about celebrities and why it didn't work out. But now it's just kind of just talking about celebrities, and there's big things on like Kevin Spacey and Dirty Pervs right now because I'm a slacker. And
I'm a slacker too.
so I have a good boss. What can I say? Um, with that being said, um, Ms. Kristen, you want to take it away?
Libras. Libras rule the seventh house of the horoscope, the chart. That rules partnerships and marriage, and they are
And the law.
they're the scales. They're the balanced sign of the zodiac, an air sign ruled by Venus. Librans are all about making good decisions. There's a lot of Libra lawyers out there. People who are Libras are really very interested in justice, and I think that they want to weigh everything so carefully. They're extremely annoying, you guys, sorry, but they can't make decisions very well. But once they do make a decision, they make the best decisions ever. If you ask a Libra an opinion and something that they've thought about, then you know that they're the most well-informed opinion.
And that makes you annoying.
Can be annoying, like if you're at the grocery store with a Libra and they can't decide on their cereal. Like, there's just too many choices for a Libra. They have a hard time with that. They get a little overwhelmed with choices, and they always want to make such a good decision that it can be a little bit paralyzing for them. But they are such a lovely sign. Have you ever met a Libra that wasn't pleasant? I mean, okay, they can be mean because they're like an air sign and they're detached, but like I have a hard time finding a Libra that isn't just absolutely lovely. Like they
The
don't
woman
really.
that raised me was a Libra.
Really? Was she nice, or was she a jerk?
She was very nice. When she was mad, she was as serious as a heart attack. But she raised me well. I'm not saying like I'm a well-raised person, but I mean like she did like the best job she could possibly do, and she did a better job than some other people I know that I can't mention because they might see this. But
oh, they have no idea what you were just talking about, though.
Nope. But she taught me like some seriously practical things, to get me through life, basic life skills. And she actually seemed to kind of know what she was doing, but she would space out on me. You know, she like, are we watching The Price is Right or are we watching The Family Feud? And I'm like, I don't care. I'm 6. And so she would go back and forth between the channels, like get up, change the channel.
Oh, it's because she couldn't commit, right?
Right. Yeah.
Oh, they had to do both.
Yep. So that was Nana. God bless her heart.
If a Libra doesn't have some sort of fire sign in them to help them get over that whole like ambivalence of everything, then they're pretty wishy-washy. But if they have a lot of fire influence in their chart, then they can be like decisive. And it's interesting. I find a lot of Libras who have a lot of Scorpio influence. Those tend to be the harsher of the Librans. But the Libras who are more Virgo oriented are just so lovely, and they're so pretty, and they're just so kind. You know, they attract everybody. They're like super popular people. They never get mad. They always rationalize everything for you. They're really lovely, lovely people. I just don't like to grocery shop with them. I have my own Libra issues. So who do we have? Some famous Libras?
Oh my God, we have so many famous Libras. Look at all these famous Libras.
Whoa. Remember, we want to stay at 20 minutes or less.
Yeah, no, I mean, just this column here.
Okay, all right.
These are famous Scorpios.
Oh, okay.
Gwen Stefani, Ryan Reynolds, who must be on the cusp because he also hit Scorpio as well. Dakota Johnson, who, if you don't know who she is Anastasia from 50 Shades of Grey. Will Smith, Gwyneth Paltrow, Kim Kardashian. So now that we know that, we can all sleep better. Eminem, who is also claimed to be a Gemini. Zac Efron, Bruno Mars, Lil Wayne, Simon Cowell, who's actually very good at making decisions. I would say that he's probably got a shit ton of Scorpio in there.
Yeah.
Nick Cannon, Usher, Avril Lavigne, Gandhi, Vladimir Putin, John Lennon, Matt Damon, Brett Favre, John Mayer, Bernie Mac, Neil deGrasse Tyson, who is an astrophysicist.
Oh gosh, I have to stop you right there.
Yeah. Do you love him?
Well, he's awesome. But somebody came in, I was doing this book fair the other day, and they're like, did you know that Neil deGrasse Tyson is Mike Tyson's brother? I was like, no way.
He's not.
No way. And they're like insisting. And so we Googled it, and there's all these articles saying that Neil deGrasse Tyson is Mike Tyson's brother. And then there's some articles that are saying they just said it on TV as like a joke because they have the same last name. So if anybody knows if that's actually true or not, I would really, really like to know.
Yeah, I'd like to know that too.
That's a completely totally different. I mean, Mike Tyson was in jail when he was like 12, and yeah. So anyway,
face up and stuff, and now he's got a cartoon, which
apparently is awesome.
The funniest thing I have seen in a long time. I wanted a shit talking pigeon.
I haven't seen it, but I heard all about it the other day, and I'm like, that sounds like a pretty good show.
It's hysterical.
Anyway, that's so interesting. Anyway, he's very attractive, Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yeah,
I feel like he's. I mean,
brain. Brain.
So smart.
So carrying on. Hugh Jackman, Oscar Wilde, Derek Rose. Can't read that. Carrie Fisher, sadly. Amber Rose, who went from the pole to Kanye West. Margaret Thatcher, Lacey Chabert, Serena Williams, Ireland Baldwin, who is a model, and if you didn't know, Alec Baldwin's kid. Eleanor Roosevelt, Christina Milian, Rita Hayworth, Bridget Bardot, Judge Judy. She's good at making a decision, so I'm going to say she's probably got some Scorpio. Alicia Silverstone and the famous photographer Annie Leibovitz. So some aesthetically pleasing.
You know, when a Libra totally knows a subject, they are the expert, and they can make decisions fairly easily. So I think that when a Libra has mastered any sort of subject, then I mean, it makes perfect sense to me that as a judge, a Libra would be an amazing, decisive judge because they know that law. Like they don't have to, I bet there's a ton of Libra judges actually.
And she's witty.
She is witty. I mean, you might not like and agree with everything that she says, but yeah, she's witty. I think that, so that's the thing. Like if Libras are presented with new information that they haven't mastered, then they're stymied. But if they know that subject matter, they absolutely can make, very easy decisions. This is one other sign where I think the males and females are completely different. I think Libra females, they're just so much more comfortable as a female, right?
Even with the masculine sign.
Yeah, but they have that Venusian energy, right? So it's very comfortable in that. So, and they're very partner oriented. I feel like it's just so much easier to be a Libra female, and they're happier. Libra men, I've found, can be like extremely difficult, and kind of hard. So, I mean, they're not always like that, but if you do find a Libra who's like Simon Cowell, I think.
Or Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, I don't know much about him, but I know that.
He's actually on the Capricorn list as well.
Oh, interesting. So, I mean, I don't understand these, like, who's coming up with their birthdays.
Well, he looks kind of Capricorn a little bit. But,
yeah.
I mean, considering what he's been through in his life and that he was accused of murder, didn't he do time?
I don't know. I'm not great about.
I think he did time while they went through the trial, and he was dismissed of the charges. And he started off in gangster rap, and now he's cooking meals with Martha Stewart on VH1.
I think that's hilarious.
He knows what he's doing. He knows that his audience grew up. He knew that he needed to find a new audience, and he needed to do something different because rap isn't what it used to be.
Interesting.
Yep.
Well, they're smart,
Yep.
Air signs are smart. Libra, they're smart. They just don't seem and appear like an Aquarius or Gemini because they do have that indecisiveness. So they seem to always be hesitating.
It's a subtle smart.
Oh, they're very smart. I mean, there's no denying it. Yeah. So, okay, with that being said, let's talk about their year ahead.
That's it.
Let me pull it up and we can discuss it. Okay. Libra for 2018. Here we go. So.
Well, we can say that Neptune in conjuncts their sun. So that'll help you with your decision-making process, not.
Oh my gosh. That's all they need is Neptune issues.
Just call it a year, Libra. Just lock yourself in the house and watch Netflix.
Libras have had to deal with Uranus being opposed their sun for the last, 2 years-ish, without going back and looking, maybe even longer. It's still in Aries opposing their sun, and the late degree Librans are still going through periods of like chaos and
discombobulation.
Yes.
It's retrograding too.
Yeah, it's going back this entire year. You're going to be experiencing just sudden disruptions to your plans, your way of life. Not subtle, sudden. Did I say subtle or sudden?
You said sudden.
Okay. I don't know if I said subtle, but sudden changes and just life is sort of up in the air. Out of nowhere, you might be, relocated to Europe or
which would be kind of awesome, actually.
Well, depending, like you might like it, but I just feel like things that just change out of nowhere, new jobs, moving,
people. You might clean house.
You mean of relationships that aren't working anymore?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be.
You might purge everything you own.
Well, that could be too. We've got Pluto squaring Libra's sun.
And Saturn. Here comes Saturn.
And
our
Saturn.
friend to teach a lesson to our Libra friends about discipline and making a decision and sticking to it, and
Working
having
hard.
the right information to make those decisions.
So it's a time of action. 2018 isn't going to be a time of like reflection for Librans. They're going to have to make decisive moves. They might have already been going through these for the last few years of like sudden changes and stuff, but now is the time you're going to have to make decisions and really stick with them. It was Saturn there, like you said. Neptune in conjunct it means maybe they're not your ideal, like this isn't what you had dreamed of. You know, maybe you had different aspirations in life. You never expected to be doing what you're doing today. But it will pay off. You know, I would say in 2.5 years, if you work really hard right now, all these crazy sudden changes that might be happening to you, and whether or not they're like physical changes, it might just be emotional changes, like the need for freedom, the, you know, sense that you are so used to being in partnerships, and partnerships are so important to you. You really, really do, in general, do better with a partner, whether it's in a business or in any career aspect or, you know, a personal relationship. This might be a time where you need to be alone and you work hard for the next couple of years. And when Saturn enters Aquarius in 2.5 years, it's going to be trining your sun, and all these things that you've been working at, frustrated with.
Powerful.
Will start paying off for you. Yeah. Will give you, make things easier again. Libras really have to work hard the next few years. So, I mean, I don't see it it's like all bad. I don't think that Libras are going to have the easiest of 2018.
You don't think they're going to have the easiest?
I don't think it's going to be easy for Librans. I think it's going to be, there's some challenging aspects coming up. The changes could be sudden and really good too, you know?
Let's just look at the node in Leo sextiling though. And all of this can serve a purpose to dig a little deeper and once again have that theme that Virgo had of like kicking the door open and trying something different and taking a chance, even though like the scales are unbalanced. Try it anyway. What is the worst that could possibly happen? You know, don't think about that. Just take the energy of Uranus and its flexibility, and take the energy of Neptune and its anything could happen, and go. And don't think about it too much. Just go and walk through that door and know that Saturn is there to teach you, but it's got your back. And you will come out because of this node, like not transformed, but definitely schooled, smarter, a little bit quicker. You know, it's for the better. When is Jupiter getting out of Scorpio and into Sagittarius?
Let me check.
Or Mars, because they could use some help.
Jupiter is going to be in Scorpio all of 2018. Oh no, November. Sorry.
Okay.
November 9th, Jupiter goes into Scorpio. I mean, into
Sagittarius.
Sagittarius.
Okay, so that'll give you, so next holidays, you know, you'll get some good presents. And Mars is like 2.5 months per sign?
Yeah, roughly. I mean,
so you're going to get a little energy to maybe try some of these things.
Well, I think that they're going to have to make changes that happen suddenly, no matter what. But I feel like with the Pluto and Saturn squaring their sun, they're not going to want to make these changes.
No.
So I think it's going to be a difficult year. But one of the things that astrology can really help us in general with is understanding that things are cyclical. You might experience changes in your life that you're not prepared for and that you don't want to do right now. But like Vickie was saying, they're useful and they will put you into, like, you will be propelled into the next phase of your life, which is coming in a couple of years. So understanding that some of the difficulties you might be going through in this year and some into 2019, for sure into 2019, they are useful, and you have to be willing to work and learn from the energies that are happening right now. And ultimately, it's moving you to the next phase of your life.
And if you don't take advantage of this time, you will be stagnant and miserable when you should have been exalted.
Yeah, you will. Saturn energy always reaps benefits when you work for them. Pluto energy, you don't have a choice, so it's going to change regardless. Same with Uranus, but I feel like these are all action transits right now for 2018. This isn't a time for sitting back, reflecting. You're going to have to do work. You're going to have to actively be making changes, adjustments in your life, getting rid of things that aren't working for you anymore. You might be suffering a little bit, but knowing the suffering has a purpose, that you're going to end up being a more evolved human and happier ultimately because of them. And that's what you have to keep on remembering, that it's temporary, things will get better. They will. I promise.
Yeah.
So hang in there.
Keep you hanging.
Hang in there. And if you need help, if you need some personal advice, you can always email and request a chart reading. I think having a real sense of your own individual chart and what's happening can help you. Because with your own chart reading, you can look and say, oh, I know that in 2018, I'm going to be going through a relationship change or a job change. And we can help you understand what that energy is doing and what the purpose is. Like, you can get through any situation as long as you understand why.
Yeah.
That's the way I think astrology is extremely helpful.
It's like a map.
Yeah, it's like, that this is why, that we all go through these changes, and they're for a purpose. It's like when I work out and I know I only have to do a really, really difficult workout for 1 minute, I can get through anything for a minute, right? I know that as an older person now, that suffering doesn't continue. When I was younger, I didn't realize that. But that knowing that you can get through something really helps you get through it, right? And same thing, having understanding of astrology and the elements that are happening in your life, that will help you get through these times. So feel free to reach out or ask questions.
You can put them in the comments below if you want as well, if you're not shy.
We would be happy to answer questions and also participate in any live discussions that we have. So I really get the feeling there's a lot of people who are going to be needing that this year, Libras especially.
We are here to help.
Yeah. So with that being said, can't all be bad, right? There's lots of Libras who are going to be experiencing wonderful transits that are going to offset these challenges. And, I think that I do think that most of them are going to be going through these stressors.
I concur. But I don't see it as heavy as you do. I see a little glimmers of hope as Mars and Mercury kind of make their way around, giving breaks and breaths of air when it's needed. And I think just knowing that this is all for a purpose should help Libra be able to be like, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. I mean, it's not going to be like you're going to lose your house and your car is going to explode, and like it's not like that. And when we say work, we don't mean like sitting behind your desk, like typing and stuff like that. We mean like emotional, personal work to find out who you are as a person and to dig a little deeper and find out what makes you tick. Don't you want to know what makes you tick? Like why you are the way you are? I mean, that's the fun part. Talking to Scorpios, they'll tell you all about that crap. And in the end, that's kind of fun. It's just going to be a mountainous climb. Capricorns can do it. You can do it. You'll be fine.
Well, and these forecasts are all about your sun sign, and your sun sign's all about your ego and your path in life, like your ultimate end goal of who you are as a person in this lifetime. And these are the transits that are going to help you shape that. And so we go through periods of time that are more difficult and some that are just easier going. And if you look back in your life, you'll recognize that you've gone through cycles like this before. I mean, unless
Remember
you're
when you were 28 or
well,
are you
like
28 yet?
Unless they're, unless they're 12 watching this show, which they shouldn't be. But
Right.
if they were, like a young person, maybe they haven't gone through all these things. But we're here to tell you as an older person that life happens in cycles, and, you're going to get through this cycle.
Yeah, just fine. Dust your shoulders off.
I'm going to stop sharing right now, and we can kind of
all
close
right.
off because I do feel like I'm kind of done with them. So,
all right,
good
Libra,
luck.
you can do it. We're here if you need us.
Yeah, definitely reach out. You might need some help.
But we got your back.
Okay.
Sleepless Astrologers got your back, Libra. So with that, we're going to wish you, it's night for us, so we're going to say good night, but we're also going to say thank you for watching.
Yeah, thank you.
Come back anytime. We'll take good care of you.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Good night.